Hello and welcome. My name is Peace Mitchell and I'm co-founder of Women Changing the World Press. Before we begin, I would like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the people of Mamu country in North Queensland. I would also like to pay my respects to traditional owners and elders, past and present, right across Australia and the Torres Strait. Well, I'm excited because today we are launching our new book, Authenticity and Action. And to celebrate, I have one of my fabulous co-authors joining me, Nouna. Hi, Nouna.
Hi, Peace. How you going?
I'm good. I'm good. Now, Nouna, for people who haven't met you before, I would love you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about you and the work that you do.
Yes, sure. So my name is Nouna. I am a mom of three beautiful girls. Um, I am a life coach, a social worker, and I've trained as a doula and a wedding celebrant as well. I'm really passionate about helping others, finding their gift, living the best life, realizing their dreams, because this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love for my own life. And there's so many tools and lessons that I've learned along the way, that I would love to share these with others and help them creating the best life for themselves. So I've done some shamanic training when I was living in Mongolia as well, and lots of different life experiences has guided me to be here today to write a chapter in the book and hopefully inspire some others to live authentically and put things into action towards their dream and the best life.
I love that so much. I love that, Nouna. So your chapter is called Choose You. Can you tell us about this title and why you chose it?
Yes, of course. So I wrote it shoes, as you can see, just because of my accent first. As you can hear, I've got a little bit of a French accent. So I would say choose you, but also because choosing yourself to me is the key to so many different um, adventures and lessons. And when we choose ourselves fully, that's where we make all our decisions align with who we fully are. So it's only two words, but I found them so powerful, and that really encapsulate my whole chapter, my whole story. Um, every advice, everything I've learned, come back to choosing yourself. So that's why I choose that title for my chapter.
I love it. Nouna, in your chapter, you talk about the moment when you got a massive slap in the face. It was a real wake-up call and you were not expecting it. You were 16 years old and you were in school. Can you tell us about this moment and what happened?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess that's one of the first big wake-up call that I had. I was 16 years old. I was studying to be a social worker, and I gave my first assessment back. I was super proud, super happy with my work, and it came back really, really bad. It came back as a failure. It was below 30%, I believe, and it was a big shock. And when I went to see the teacher to have an explanation, he just um, confirmed that not only the work wasn't great, but also he didn't know who I was. He was like, I don't even know who you are. You're not showing yourself. You always retreat. You're always shy. You always you're not showing anything of you. You're not sharing with the world. And that was even harder to receive an attack on me personally instead of just my work. um, but that was very much the first slap in my face to say, hey, it's time to wake up and it's time to take action. It's time to be authentic, to be genuine, to show who I am, to be seen for who I am. um, lots of fall down and lots of slaps in the face after that as well, but that was probably the first one that made me feel like, okay, I need to do something differently, and I need to if I want to realize my dream, if I want to go after everything I want to in life, I need to start making action towards it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And in your chapter, you talk about the fact that you were always different and you had different dreams for yourself. You wanted to do things like maybe you could join the circus, or maybe sell ice cream or live in a bus. And other people didn't always react positively to that. Can you tell us about this experience?
Yes. Yes, I believe like lots of people, I always felt a little bit different. The black sheep of the family, I felt like I didn't belong, or it was hard to find places and people who match who I was really on the inside. And yes, I dreamed of traveling the world. I dreamed of um, doing lots and lots of different jobs. And every advice I received younger was the opposite. Every advice I received was, oh, just be careful for your future. You have to save for your retirement. You have to settle and have a normal life, like do like everyone else, and commit to one job and one place. And to me, that never aligned with who I was. But I realized how much power we let others dictate what we want to do is such an influence on our life. And um, I believe that's something I've learned along the way, is to really choose myself again and listen to who I was. And everything worked out so beautifully in my life when I've decided to listen to who I really was. And at the end, I realized that there is a place for everyone. Everyone belongs. You find your tribe of like-minded people. You find the people that lift you up, that inspires you, that guides you into the best version for you, not especially what everyone else is doing or what society wants you to be. Um, or it's just about listening to who you are fully. But like, even though you're surrounded with beautiful people, it's always first listening to yourself.
Yes, and you talk about that in your chapter. You talk about the fact that when you started listening to your intuition, that's when you started living your best life and having adventures all around the world. Can you tell us a bit more about listening to your intuition and some of the decisions you made and adventures you had as a result of listening to your heart and being true to yourself?
Um, yeah, I guess it's been a succession of actions, and really listening to my intuitions. When I say my intuition, it's just my inner voice, I guess. What's my body really saying? What my with my little voice on the inside is guiding me to do, to really make decisions that are aligned with that. And I know it's not always easy, because sometimes we are in tricky relationships, and sometimes we are in tricky financial situations, or there's a lot of component to it. But I believe that when we really listen to your intuition, you get to make choice that aligns more and more with who you are, and then you make better decisions. It feels easier to listen to your intuition. It's like a muscle. It just needs a lot of practice, and the more we do it, the better we get at it as well.
I love that. In your chapter, you say, trust in the process. Don't discard anything you like or you are dreaming of because you think it's not viable, or because it doesn't make sense, or it's not serious enough. Can you tell us more about this trusting? And even though sometimes society is telling you, no, you need to not take that risk, you need to be sensible, you need to get a good job, you've always had that trusting in yourself and trusting in the process. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I've always had it, but I've surely have practiced it over the years. Um, I do really believe that when we choose ourselves, and we manage to trust, to know that we are protected, we're safe, we are looked after by life, by universe, by God, whatever name you want to give it. Um, Things really unfold in a way sometimes that we don't expect, or that we wouldn't have thought of. So, for example, if I'm really, for all my goals and all my dreams and all my decisions, I would always make that decision on the inside, and then trust that an opportunity will come to me. I'll meet the right person that would talk to me about this, or that the right action will come into place. But it's really hard to trust. I find it really hard to trust that everything is taken care of. But the more we practice that belief, the more we know that things will unfold in a perfect way, in a beautiful way, the more I found it magical that things can happen, and sometimes even better than what we thought. Sometimes we a little bit limited in our belief or what we think is possible, and then opportunities arises in a way that we didn't expect, even in a better way, or in a different way, but that actually works better for us. So I believe trusting is a big part of creating and manifesting our life, but it's a very hard thing to do. It's the tricky part to do is really trusting that everything is for the best always.
You had a really beautiful example in your chapter about your dream of wanting to be part of the Tour de France and wanting to work with Tour de France. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, sure. It's yes, I've been grew up in Europe. I've always seen the Tour de France going around France in all the beautiful villages, and the atmosphere is always incredible. As you know, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of joy and happiness, and I always thought it would be fantastic to be part of it, but I never thought I will be able to. And one day I saw an ad of someone looking for a cook for the Tour de France. And I started writing an email back saying, "Hi, my name is Nouna. I can cook. I can do this, da, 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 da." And then I erased my whole email thinking, no, this is not authentic at all. I'm not a very good cook. And I want to be very genuine and authentic. So I rewrote it and I said, I absolutely can't cook, but I would love to be part of the Tour de France. Is there anything else I could do for you? And the reply was quite fast, saying, "Yes, we're still looking for some drivers as well. Would you be interested in a driving position on the Tour de France?" And funnily, that was the exact same car as I was driving in Belgium at that time. So that was perfect. I was absolutely stunned to have an opportunity to work on a Tour de France, doing something I was really good at. I'm a good driver, and something I really enjoy. So yeah, at the end, it's a perfect example that authenticity, being very authentic and genuine, and action as well, having the courage to write an email and say, "Hey, I'm not what you're looking for, but we never know. There might be a chance of doing something else." Has led me to 3 beautiful years on the Tour de France where I work for this person.
Oh, it's such an amazing story. I really love that. Well, thank you so much, Nouna. It's been wonderful chatting with you today. And thank you so much for your chapter in Authenticity and Action. For anyone tuning in, if you would like to grab a copy, you will find them at wcwpress.com. Thanks again, Nouna, and thanks everyone. We'll see you again soon.
Thank
Bye.
you, Pete. Bye. Bye.